Day 3, starting out in Phoenix, going up to the north side of town, and then we're going to go west to the desert. I think today is going to be all day through the desert, so it may not be quite as, or anywhere near as fun as yesterday. Maybe I'll be happily surprised, we'll see. This may be a shorter one. Here we go. Arizona 74, going west from the north side of Phoenix. Back in with US 60. Nice wide cruising highway. Not the greatest to look at, but 74 was better. Not terrible though. Arizona. Founded in like 1863 or something like that. Super cool little flavor. US 60 just west of Aquila, Arizona. A lot of today so far has been, this flat desert with mountains in the distance, which is somewhat pretty, just not as breathtaking as yesterday. But one of the things people don't understand about why I do this is that I find this kind of thing just as fascinating. People live here. This is America. The experience out here is different than my experience, so it's fascinating to me to check out how people live in different places. It's not like I'm doing a in-depth dive into the life and culture or anything, but you can drive through these towns and look around and see the landscape and the conditions and the kind of homes that are in different places, and how one town can be very, very different than another, just 30 miles apart, just for whatever reason. Anyway, just a little rambling thought process as I drive through the somewhat flat and very dry desert. Small town, Arizona. I don't actually know where this is. Winden, it says on the side. Still on US 60. Still US 60, approaching my turnoff. 62, heading northwest up to Parker, Arizona. It's 108 outside. California. Nice bridge. Welcome to California. Donkey doing over there? What are you doing, donkey? Not the part of California that you think of when you think of California. This is California 62, I think. Starting off a little southwest before it turns straight west across the desert. California 62, after passing through the California Agricultural Inspection, running through the desert. California 62. There's a ring of mountains in front of me. I don't know where the road's going. Pretty soon here I'm going to go off to the right-ish, a little more west. Still California 62, but these mountains are getting impressive. Here comes my right turn. Alright, still California 62, but I've taken a right turn. Most of the traffic went straight. Now heading directly west. I think you can see where the road goes. like the last section, except that on my left is Joshua Tree National Park, and on my right is Mojave Trails National Monument. There hasn't been any signage, but looking at the map, I know that that's the case. So, I don't believe this end of Joshua Tree is where there's any campgrounds or any of the Parky Park, but nonetheless, that's what's over there. The rock formations are just crazy over there. On my left, can't really see it very well, but it's good. So I'm sure the actual Joshua Tree is probably even more fascinating. This road has been surprisingly beautiful. Still Arizona, still California 62. I was really surprised with how nice it is. I was expecting flat desert the whole way. It's giving me a lot of cool mountains. I'll have to look it up, but I think that on the right might be where they filmed the Top Gun scene where Tom Cruise does the run through the valley and then blows up the little building, has to do the climb out. I know for sure, because it's on the map, that's a Marine Corps shooting range over there, test range. And I'm pretty sure that that's, for things like Top Gun, because I'm not that far from San Diego in aircraft terms. And those mountains over there sure look like the mountains that Cruise had to do the pull-up vertical maneuver over. And that looks like the place where the little hut is that he blows up. How cool is that? Signs of civilization. Still in the desert, but that's starting to look like fringes of population again. Probably only pick up if people live the hell away from here. Suddenly it feels like I'm at the beach. Okay, maybe not yet. Welcome to the actual town of Joshua Tree, which I did not know was a thing until I saw it on the map this morning. I knew about the park, I didn't know about the town. Not all that much to speak of so far. a yucca, climbing back out of the little valley it's in. Cutting north up towards Lucerne Valley and Palmdale, going around the north end of LA. Man, a truck pulled out in front of me. Boo. Cacti as I drive out of this valley. California 247, cutting northwest up to Lucerne Valley. And some construction. Another stop. It's funny, I don't remember this ever happening in Texas. These one-way construction zones until I started doing these cross-country drives. And then I ran into them out in West Texas occasionally, but it's not something I think I see very often in sort of main part of Texas. All right, this is Apple Valley, California. I think this may be the last, pure desert community, the end of the pure desert communities. And this is just like, I think, town from here all the way into Palmdale. Just looking on my map it is, so we'll see. Let's see how many more videos we get out of the day. This is Victorville, California. Well, I had the Palmdale Road, took me back out into the desert. Heavy traffic, but skirting along over here towards Palmdale. California 138 almost to Palmdale. Southern Palmdale. California 14, heading from the high desert down into Los Angeles. Still from California 14. Man, they must be having a drought here because everything is dead, not just the grass.